So you did it, you got your admission letter, you got your ticket to Korea, and you've got the date of your departure circled in your calendar, and now the most agonizing period starts where you just have to sit and wait for this next chapter of your life to begin. Remember that feeling all too well, but the good news is that there are steps that you can do in this waiting period to better prepare you for a more comfortable university life and just regular daily life in Korea. So here are roughly 25 essential apps that you can download on your phone before you start your semester in Korea or before you move to Korea, coming from a sophomore student studying at Women's University in Seoul, and I will explain the purpose of each one and how they will help you to survive and thrive in Korea. Let's go. If you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. My name is Hope. I am an international student studying in Seoul, South Korea. I've been living here for more than 5 years and I've been studying here for more than 2 years. I'm now entering my junior year of college of my undergraduate degree, and I film lots of various informational videos on my YouTube channel as well as vlogs about college life. So feel free to subscribe. So I also film a lot of interesting content on my TikTok and Instagram page, so please subscribe. It's Hope17 on all platforms, and let's just go right into it. The first category that I want to touch upon is the lifestyle category, and the apps in this category will help you survive the day-to-day life in Korea no matter the university that you are attending. If this is your first time coming here with the intention of staying for a long time, you are 100% will need those apps. First one is KakaoMetro. It's an app that I use pretty much every single day despite living here for such a long time and knowing the ins and outs of the subway system. I still use the app KakaoMetro, and it basically lets you navigate the entire subway system like I've mentioned before, as well as monitor the arrival time of trains and the departure time of trains in real time. And I like that it's very clean and minimalistic design, because Korean apps and websites tend to be very cluttered with information and ads and just everything that doesn't need to be all in one page, and I got overwhelmed looking at those types of apps. So this app is definitely my favorite. It lets you plan your routes in advance. For example, if you need to go to another city or if you need to go to an area you've never been before, you can map your route from the beginning to an end. So it's very good for anxious planners and basically everyone who comes here for the first time and doesn't know how to ride a subway yet. And it also can pick the fastest route. It can pick the fastest transfer platform that you have to stand in to be the closest to the stairwell or the escalator or the elevator. Definitely my all-time favorite. Did hear though a lot of foreigners complain about the language barrier, so I use it in Korean and it's very good in Korean, but some of my friends said that in English it's a bit like hit and miss. Some things are not translated, some things are not translated well. So if you don't know Korean yet, or if you're not comfortable in Korean yet, I have another app for you that can do basically the same thing, and it's NAVER Maps. Now, NAVER Maps is also a very essential app that everyone should have while living in Korea. You cannot live without this app in this country, genuinely, because I think maybe some of you have heard before, but Google Maps don't really work in Korea because of security issues. So all Koreans use NAVER Maps, and my friend who doesn't really speak Korean that well and use English in a day-to-day life prefers NAVER Maps because the English translation is just a bit better for sure. And if you need to look up the address to a cafe, to a venue, to a location, NAVER Maps is the go-to. You can also bookmark places with different colors to visit later, plan routes, plan trips, everything. Essential app, like I said before. You can also book restaurants, you can book appointments through NAVER Maps, as well as reserve visits to hair salons, nail salons, whatever it is you're interested in. All of that is in NAVER Maps. Third app is Kakao T or Kakao Taxi. This is in the same category as the previous two, which is transportation. I don't use it often as I did before earlier because I just don't really ride taxis anymore. If you're new to Korea and if you are on a time crunch, for example, it's just generally good to have this app because you can reserve buses and you can also reserve train tickets. You can also rent bikes in the city, a scooter, you can rent a car, and you can pay all of it through Kakao T app. So it's definitely very useful if you're a traveler. This one will be the banking app. Once you open a bank account here, if you're a long-term resident, you need to open a bank account. Usually the employee at the branch will help you set up the app that will correspond to your bank account. And basically you will then be able to transfer money to your banking app every day very easily. So please make sure to download that and get help from the staff member to set up your account. And memorize all the passwords and keep it very protected, because this will be your essential app as well. Now, this one is a little bit, I wouldn't say an essential, but it's definitely essential for me. It's an app that basically lets you manage your national health insurance bills and your national health insurance subscription. And it has every information that you need that is about your national health insurance. And if you're planning to stay in Korea for more than 6 months, your national health insurance will open automatically. So you don't need to apply for it, and they don't ask you whether you want to be enrolled in a national health insurance or not. It will just open automatically if you're going to stay here for more than 6 months, which is like most students, I would say. So basically you will then have to pay premium each month. For students it's around 80,000 won, which is a discount. For regular foreigners it's about 160,000 won, which is quite a lot. So yeah, you can pay this premium by getting a bill in your mailbox, physical bill in a physical mailbox each month. But I prefer just paying it through this app because I can see the numbers in real time. I can see what I'm paying for. And you can also set up an automatic transfer, but I don't like that because I don't like not controlling where my money goes. I don't like just them automatically taking the money out of my bank account. So I pay it myself manually. But if you're a very forgetful person, definitely set an automatic transfer. This app is called 국세전 선택세, which is also those who plan to stay here long term and those of you who plan to work here and paying taxes. This is the app for that. It's basically app to track your taxes. You can check your, like I said, taxes here, as well as check for tax return in May for freelance workers. If you're an official worker in a company, you don't have to worry about that because your accountant in your company should do the taxes for you. But if you're a freelancer, you should do the taxes yourself in May. But if you're just a student with no intention of working, or if you just do like simple part-time jobs and your annual income is like lower than I would say like a standard, you shouldn't worry about that because probably your employee will pay the taxes for you, and I don't think you will have any tax returns in May. So now these two apps I think are in one category. And this is NAVER and TikBan for apartment hunting. There's a lot of discourse about finding an apartment in Korea through these apps because people claim that they have a lot of false listings on there, so definitely be more careful. I have yet to encounter it personally, but I do like to warn people to be very cautious when it comes to apartment hunting apps, because it's generally a good idea to just go to a 부동산, which is like a real estate office in the neighborhood where you want to rent an apartment, and just do it personally, like right, physically through an actual real estate, because I do think that a lot of listings listed on these apps are fake. But I just use these apps to scout the area, to see the approximate prices, to see the approximate listings. I don't necessarily consider it very like a serious apartment hunting app, but I just like to see it like generally to paint a picture, you know what I mean? But you can definitely contact the realtor if you find a listing that you like on these apps, because I've had friends who successfully found apartments through like TikBan or NAVER 부동산, which is an extension from NAVER. So give it a try. You never know. Finally, I think the last app in this category, lifestyle category, is Karrot Market or 당근. It's a very popular marketplace app, which at first started as like a secondhand e-commerce platform similar to Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace, but now it has evolved to include so many other services. For example, like listing part-time jobs that you can do in your neighborhood, and you have to first verify your location through the app, and it lets you sell and buy from your neighbors to foster this like trust system, because you don't want to get scammed from a stranger on the internet, from a stranger on the marketplace. So Karrot essentially only limits you to your neighborhood, because you can't scam your neighbor, otherwise they will find you. I guess this is like the sentiment behind that. People will also give you very like extensive reviews on that platform that can bump up your score, like your trust score, so others can see if they can trust to buy something from you. And I have sold so many things on Karrot, from electronics to giving away things for free while I had to move and I didn't want to like throw away really good stuff, so I just gave it away for free. And yeah, but again, always be very careful, because I've heard a lot of stories about foreigners getting scammed on those, even on Karrot market. So again, be very careful. And if you're a student on a budget, definitely download this app because you can find so many things that you can get for free as a student. For example, if you're moving and you need like furniture, you can get so many furniture pieces for free, so many items like books, electronics, and many other things. And also, it's a very good app to check up for part-time jobs because I've had friends who are foreign students who found part-time jobs through Karrot market. So, and this is it for the lifestyle section, and let's move on into the next section, which is about shopping. So the first app in this section is, you guessed it, it's Coupang. You cannot live in Korea without Coupang. Unfortunately, it is sort of like a monopoly when it comes to shopping. It's the Amazon of Korea and definitely holds the, like I said, a monopoly when it comes to e-commerce. It has the fastest delivery. It has the fastest delivery for both household products and also produce, which makes it very hard to compete with Coupang, and also makes it very hard to not use it as like a regular citizen living here. Oh, recently I think because I don't have the subscription for Coupang, the delivery is not that high. The delivery is not that fast anymore. For some reason, like delivering on OliveYoung, the delivery is faster than on Coupang, but whatever. Again, it's very famous for its dawn delivery, where you order groceries or household items and they will be delivered the next day before 7 a.m. So it's very good for very busy people who really don't have the time to go and grocery shop for themselves, like physically in physical locations. And for this function, you have to pay a monthly subscription of 7,891. Which is not a lot for like a working person who gets like a full-time salary each month, but it can be a lot for a college student. The subscription is necessary if you want to purchase like food, like actual perishables, but it's not necessary if you want to purchase other things. So the limit is that you have to buy things for 20,000 won for like one big haul, and it can be delivered to you for free. But the delivery is usually not like super fast, but it's generally like the next day you will get delivered things. So next is an app that came from Coupang. It's Coupang Eats, and it's a delivery app for food that is more manageable for foreigners to navigate than all the other popular apps that Koreans usually use, like 배달의민족. I don't use it as much anymore because ordering delivery is very expensive and very like harsh on my wallet. But when I used to live in the dorms here at Ihwa, and because the dorms are so up far, like in the mountains, I would say, like on the top of the mountain, usually it's so hard to come down and get food, so I just deliver it because I'm too lazy. And sometimes you just get so sick of cafeteria food, so you're just like, I'm just gonna order delivery. So I used to order a lot of food when I used to live in the dorms, and yeah, Coupang Eats is usually like the best option for foreigners. Now this one is more of like a suggestion if you want, but usually it's a good idea. Like if you have a favorite cafe chain in Korea, most likely they will have an app, and in an app you can collect points, you can collect stamps. Like every time you buy a drink you will get a stamp, and if you collect like 20 stamps or 10 stamps you will get a discount, or you'll get a free coupon for a next drink. So I just like using it for that, and also I like using the app to pre-order my coffee. So when I'm in a rush, I can pre-order it while I'm in the subway, and while I come to the cafe, my coffee is already ready to go, so I just grab it and then rush to my lecture. So it's definitely a good thing to have an app, but it's not a necessity, but it's a recommendation if you want it. It's an app for OliveYoung, and come on, who doesn't know OliveYoung, right? I heard that they opened a location in the US recently, which is really interesting for me. But again, it's a very dominant retailer when it comes to cosmetics and even like health and wellness and food nowadays. And I believe they have a global app for people outside of Korea, but if you're in Korea, you should get like a domestic OliveYoung app. And the reason I have this is because I like ordering things online, and the delivery here is usually really good. And if you order in the morning, it can come in the evening. The delivery is free if you buy over 20,000 won. And I generally just dislike shopping at OliveYoung offline stores because there's something about the layout of OliveYoung stores that just like makes the experience unpleasant for some reason. I don't know why, but I just don't like the layout, and also it's always crowded. No matter which OliveYoung I go to, there's always going to be people in the aisles, and it's just like you just can't browse in peace. There's always going to be people bumping into you, and it's just like, I just want to escape as soon as possible. So I just prefer ordering things online. The last app in this section is ZigZag, and this is a very famous app for very cheap clothes, and it contains a lot of brands, actually, both famous brand names and more like niche ones, I guess. And it's quite popular among students because the prices are generally cheaper than, let's just say, like Mushinsa. And have you heard about the rivalry between Mushinsa and ZigZag? I just recently heard about that, and it was so funny because ZigZag updated their app recently, and I clicked on it and I was so confused because suddenly the app started to look like Mushinsa app, and I was like, oh, I guess they're rebranding their whole brand identity, maybe, I don't know. But basically you can find a lot of cute clothes on ZigZag, and it's going to be very cheap. And usually the assortment on ZigZag is basically the same thing that you see on like offline Hyundai stores. It's basically the same thing because they buy these clothes in bulk from the same manufacturers. So the prices are generally cheaper because it's an online store and they don't have to pay for rent and they don't have to pay their employees. But the assortment of the clothes are basically the same thing. So the next section is entertainment, which is, I think, is crucial category because we need to work hard, but we also have to play hard, okay? And this one is called CG1 points. So it's CG1, but it's used for points, for collecting points. And Korea is very known for its point system and a love for coupons. So points exist at basically every cafe chain, every convenience store, every supermarket store, bookstore. They're just everywhere. And I think the most famous one is CG1. So they can be used at OliveYoung, they can be used at CGV, which is like a movie chain. They can also be used at various cafe chains like Tusan Play. Just keep collecting them from this one app and you can spend it at various different locations. And the next app is CGV or Megabox for movie tickets. They're both in the same category because they're basically very similar. This one is straightforward, right? So I love booking my movie tickets in advance, especially if the very like famous movie is being premiered, and usually on the first day it's very competitive to get good tickets. So it's always a good idea to book online in advance, and that's what you need to know about living in Korea, okay? The competition here is insane for pretty much everything, and the country is really small and there's a big population of people. So if you want something, if you want to go somewhere, if you want to book an experience, you have to book in advance and you have to book early because there's going to be a million of other people booking the same freaking thing, okay? And the capacity is much smaller than you won't think, so you just have to be very smart about that. I think the difference between CGV and Megabox is that CGV has IMAX locations, which is like very far and few in between in Seoul and maybe in other cities, I don't know. But yeah, if you want to go to IMAX theaters, they're only at CGV. I think they're only on CGV. So this is my go-to. Megabox I haven't used as much lately, but sometimes they do these really cool like movie tickets, like very cool stylized designed ones. So if you want to collect those, you can book it through Megabox. But those two are the most favorite, the most popular ones. This one is for concert tickets. People usually use Interpark ticket, ES24 ticket, or Melon ticket. If you actually want to buy tickets, I would recommend to use the website instead of an app. But the app is just there to like check, to check things and to keep your ticket in your mobile phone app. And like monitor upcoming events or concerts, but usually book through the website. That's the rule of thumb. And finally, the app that I have on my phone is KYOBO for books. And KYOBO is basically also the largest and most famous bookstore chain in South Korea. They do have like various offline locations across the country, but as I've said, I like to shop online. And if you're a student, I think it's very important that you have KYOBO because you will definitely need to buy books for some of your classes. But before you do that, check Karrot Market, the one that I've discussed before, because there's a high chance that you will find a secondhand book for like half the price. Especially if you're living on your campus or if you're living in a very area where there's a lot of college students, check Karrot Market because there's going to be other college students who will sell their books. So your seniors will sell your books, and it's always good to buy secondhand books. Like, you don't need to buy a new book, please. it's always good to find a secondhand book. And finally, let's move on to our final section, which is college related apps. These apps will be for everyone who's studying in college in Korea, so you will definitely see something useful in here. And the first one is KakaoTalk. Now, the reason why I put KakaoTalk in the college related category instead of a lifestyle is because you will need it to communicate with your peers in college, especially when it comes to group projects. Please don't be that international student who, when added to a group project or like a group team, they will ask, oh, but can we do like a group project on Instagram? No, please don't be that. Please don't be that person. Please. All students here use KakaoTalk, okay, for that, because it's 100% easier to manage, and KakaoTalk was just designed for communication, for group chats, for individual chats. It's just perfect for that. And if you're planning to enter a workforce here, you will use KakaoTalk 100%. You will use it 100% to communicate with your boss, with your managers, with your colleagues, with your clients, just everything. It also has this cool feature of having a digital wallet where you connect your bank account, your existing bank account, let's say Shinhan Bank, to your KakaoTalk account, and then you can transfer money through this, okay? It's not the same as having Kakao Bank, okay? Kakao Bank, foreigners can use that. Foreigners cannot open a bank account in Kakao Bank. So it's not the same thing. The only thing you can use at KakaoTalk is a electronic wallet, which you can only use if you already have an existing bank account outside of Kakao Bank, like Shinhan Bank. Now, this app, I believe that all college students should know. It's called Everytime. And surprisingly, not a lot of international students know about this, which I think is very sad. But I repeat, you must have this app. You must have it. It's a community app for all of the college students in Korea that lets you exchange information and know things that are sometimes very hidden. The amount of information you get from there is so valuable, and you basically need to make an account and you need to verify that you're a student, but through your student ID, and then you will allow access to these community posts and community channels, right? So the security that Everytime takes its security very seriously, so you should not leak information from Everytime. If everything is anonymous, so it will encourage people to express their opinions honestly. So you shouldn't be the one to leak information or dox anyone from Everytime, because it's very legally protected and you will get into trouble. So please don't do that. But also you can meet people from university, you can meet people from other universities, and most importantly, you can read reviews about your professors. Generally a good idea to check the reviews for the professor for the course that you wish to take, especially if it's like a not a required course, because we all know we don't really have a choice when it comes to required courses. But when it comes to like elective courses, definitely check the reviews, because those can help out a lot. And during my freshman year, I wanted to be more experimental, so I was like, I'm sure the reviews are exaggerating, that it shouldn't be that bad. Let me just take the course and just see for myself. And I hate to say it, but the reviews are right. The reviews were absolutely right. And now moving on to Google Docs or Microsoft Word, which is, I guess, also in the same category, share the same space. Google Docs is the app that I use every day. Sometimes even in my sleep, I see the tabs open, and that's where I personally keep all my notes, because I love the ability to have one document but have the same tab, so have one document and have multiple tabs, sub-tabs in it. I just love it because I love organizing things. And you only need to have like one Google Doc for one class, right? It's very good, very useful. Also essential for group projects, because you can share access to multiple people and work on the same group project, on the same script, on the same research, and you can have the ability to edit the same document. So it's very good. And I remember my freshman year, I tried to take notes on my iPad on some random like apps, like note-taking apps, or even like writing my lecture notes in Microsoft Word. And honestly, nothing wrong with that, right? But it's just less organized than doing it in the Google Docs. So I made the switch in my sophomore year, and I couldn't be more glad that I did that, because now I have the now I have the storage for all my previous classes in Google Docs, which is easier to access down the line. And another app that is sort of, again, from Google is Google Meet or Zoom. So again, those two are in the same category. So Google Meet is basically exactly like Zoom, only you don't have to have a subscription to have unlimited video calls, which is very good again for group projects. I think for Zoom, you have to have a subscription if you want to call, like a video call that will last for more than 30 minutes. And when you're doing a group call for a group presentation, it will go for more than 30 minutes. So Zoom is wrong for that, and that's why I like using Google Meet, because it's free. You don't even need an account. I think it just like connects to your existing Google Doc account or your like email address, and you're ready to go. So definitely recommend it more than Zoom. And the next app I use is Quizlet, and I use it to make flashcards, which is okay app for me right now, although I don't use it as often. And I think now I'm transitioning into Anki, because yes, it feels a little bit intimidated to learn the interface, but I think once I master it, it will be much more efficient for me to use it than Quizlet. But if you just need like very chill flashcard sets, use Quizlet for sure, because Quizlet also has an app, but Anki, I think it's only like a website version. So either Quizlet or Anki have it, because flashcards is literally like the very, very good method in learning and preparing for your exams. Canva, app that will be very useful to make group presentation. Slides, it's a good variety of very good designs you can use, and it's very group work friendly. Again, you can all like edit the same slides, but Canva are making their slides a little less affordable without the subscription nowadays. So yeah, that's another thing to consider. Finally, the last, I guess, subsection of a college related section is IJO related. So the most essential ones you will need if you're a future IJO student. First is CyberCampus. This is IJO's MLC, which is like the learning management system. I guess the version of Canvas or Blackboard, and all of your classes will be on this app or the website version of the same app. But it's always a good idea to have it on your phone. Or on your iPad or on your MacBook, because I don't think they have it on Windows, I'm not sure. You will see all your course pages, assignments, grades, video lectures, receive notifications and messages from your professor. So basically just like an essential app. If you're coming to study at IJO, download it right now. The second app is called HeyOnCampus. This app is more of like a digital portal of your campus. The desktop version would probably be like Eureka portal, I think, but I sometimes prefer using the app. Not gonna lie, the app is much more comfortable to use, and it has your mobile student ID card. So if you don't have your physical student ID, you can tag your student ID from this app and you can enter the building. It lets you reserve seats in the library, in reading rooms. It lets you check electronic attendance for chapel classes. It has basically everything that you will need to have a good, successful life in college. It has everything. You can check your final grades. It has everything. Honestly, it has every single thing that you will need. And I do prefer the app more to the desktop version. So I think this is it for this video. I've covered the essential, I would say almost like basic apps that you will need if you're planning to stay in Korea long term, and also if you're planning to be a college student in Korea long term. So definitely let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed some of the very essential apps, or let me know if you have any like niche and unique apps that you use every day, that you use daily, that you think will be essential for all the people to know coming to Korea. Thing that I can do to make your transition a bit easier. I think I want to do that, and those apps will definitely do the trick, I think. Wait, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment. I think I said that before. Anything I should say? Anything I shouldn't say? I think I'm going insane. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!